crafters, welcome to episode 6 of the Ladywing Stitches Flosstube. My name is Zakiya. You can find me on Instagram, it's at Ladywing Designs. Feel free to message me on there. As always, you can also email me, ladywingdesigns@gmail.com. All the show notes for every episode, there's a post for every episode on there. You can find that on the blog for this Flosstube, and that is ladywingdesigns.blogspot.com. What's the other thing? Oh, Goodreads. Any book lovers, if you want to follow me over there, I am Zakiya the Walking Butterfly. All of that is down below in the description box, and there's also a direct link to this week's show notes down there as well. So, oh man. Okay. Anyway, yeah, welcome back. It's another Tuesday, and I'm yet again right on schedule. I am really feeling this. The weeks go by super quick, though. So every Tuesday, it's like, oh crap, I gotta film today. Anyway, regardless, yeah, no school today because they thought we were supposed to get snow. Whatever. It was 62 degrees yesterday. I had a feeling it wasn't gonna happen. Yeah, so I got a free day out of school. I really haven't done much today. I've actually barely stitched. I'm gonna film this Flosstube. Yeah. What happened in the last week? Nothing really. School, stitching, the usual. Okay, so I hope you guys are doing well, and we're just gonna jump right in. So some admin stuff. Oh, welcome back to returning viewers. Hi to anyone that's new. I'm still getting a ton of new subscribers and followers, so thank you to everyone that's joining us, and I hope you all enjoy. Okay, now I think that was all of the beginnings. I lied again. Today is Tuesday, January the 29th. Now we're good. Okay, some admin stuff. Okay, this is just purely funny, but I do want to mention it because it's serious but also hilarious. So last episode, Flosstube number 5, I had several like Suedo stalker obsession moments over Michelle Bindi Stitchy. You guys all know that, I'm just joking around. But I do want to point out that apparently January is National Stalker Awareness Month. That was purely coincidental. Yeah, so I just thought that was funny. They had a flyer hanging up on a memo board somewhere on campus, and I just happened to see it, and I was like, oh crap, is that this month? Looked it up, it is. So, in case you didn't know, because I didn't, but yeah, not a stalker, in case someone took that too seriously. Regardless, I got a good laugh out of it. So, I filmed a craft with me video, the first one for the channel, woohoo. I did that on Friday and uploaded it. I know well, I don't want to say a ton, but I know a few people have been over there watching it and commenting, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully, I'm thinking about using that as a way to maybe talk about more life stuff. Don't hold me to that. But regardless, like I said in that video, the blog that I found with all the tags, there are a good bit of them on there. And then I'm also going to do Kyle's stitching and sound tags, both 1 and 2, so we'll be fine. Yeah, so that's there, and I started a playlist for the Craft With Me videos. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to do a playlist for the Flosstube and the podcast episodes. Not quite sure yet, but the Craft With Me's will have a playlist because I don't know how often I'm going to do those yet. So okay, 2 more things of admin. You guys might have noticed already, or you'll probably notice As you're watching this video, I did a little bit of rebranding. Not, well, it's not really rebranding, it's just finally putting the pictures up on my YouTube account. So in 2018, I was so generously gifted, I guess you could say, given some images that I can use, that I could use with the podcast, because at that time I was only doing the podcast. One of my viewers, her husband does graphic design, and I told him what I wanted, and he truly delivered. And I had used that on the Revelry group and on all the stuff for the podcast, but I'd never put it on the YouTube account. So I went in, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the channel art. So for right now, that still says Ladywing Crafts Podcast. But I changed the channel name. It's officially Ladywing Designs. I put in one of the smaller images that he gave me as the little profile image. I think that's really all I did. Like, it's nothing crazy. And then also I need to take the time, and I'm gonna make a custom URL for the YouTube channel so that you guys will just be able to type that in a lot easier, and it won't be, let me go find the link. Yeah, so it'll just be simple. It's like youtube.com/C for channel, I think. And then it'll be /Ladywing Designs. Yeah. Anyway, I'll let you guys know when that happens, because I haven't done it yet. And I don't know if it'll be done while I'm editing this or if I'm just gonna wait. So I'll let you know when that happens. Okay, and then now for the fun stuff. The last bit of admin is that I said I was gonna do a Pass the Stash on, make sure this is closed, on Pumpkin Hollow Farms from Little House Needleworks. I stitched this and showed you guys the finish last week. So we're gonna pass the stash on this. So before, I don't know why I'm looking for my phone. Although I guess I could just show you guys on here. Or I could just put it in the video and not be ridiculous. Or I could just make less work for myself and show you guys on my phone. Okay, so I hadn't made this decision until just now. Alright. So, let's hope that this works okay. Alright, so this is what I did literally right before I started this. So you guys can see I went through, this is changing the coloring, but regardless, I went through on the last video, through all the comments, and everyone that said I would love to stitch Pumpkin Hollow Farms. I listed them. This is coincidentally chronological order, because that's how I looked them up. So you can see that's 8 people, and I just recorded my screen, so that's what we're watching. So then I went to random.org. You guys can see I typed in 1 through 8, hit generate, and that gave us number 8. And then here's my struggle, because I thought there was a highlighter. From what I could tell, there's not a highlight. I could have hit bold, indent. I didn't think of that. So, and then I couldn't spell winner, so you know, we still struggled. I couldn't capitalize the keyboard, and then I couldn't spell winner. But regardless, so number 8, hopefully you guys could read that on there. It was Davina Planello. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, and I've already commented on her comment, so it's official, like it's already done. Yeah, so Davina, whenever you see that comment, or if you see this video first, please email me, ladywingdesigns@gmail.com, which is also in the description box, with your mailing address, and I'll get that out to you. So, yay. That is everything for the beginning. It's already been 10 minutes. I don't know how that happened. Mostly because I never have that much admin. So, let's get into whips. I had put these in whatever order I wanted. So first one is Butterfly Effect. I always want to say I'm going to put a picture in. Guys, it's on the blog. You know this. So Butterfly Effect from Heaven and Earth Design, and the art is by Kate Powell. I don't remember where I was last week. I coincidentally, or not coincidentally, conveniently, that's the word I wanted to use. I conveniently also put before pictures, which is basically last week where it was, on the blog too. It's helpful for both of us. Regardless, here is where I am. I've done, oh no, I haven't. Where all those threads are parked is where I still have to do stitches in that block. I use this, the last time that I touched this was for Magical Stitches week 4 last week. I used it for that, and the stitches that I needed to start into this square, so I stitched. You can see where the black right there comes down. I just started stitching because there's a solid section of black in the square. Yeah. I'm still just loving this black and white, guys. So it's coming together. I literally have not touched it since I finished the Magical Stitches homework, which was like 5 days ago, 6 days ago. So I need to give this one some love. What else did I want to say? Needle Minder from Armada Designs. It's the one that she did for the class schedule sale last year. So I'm using that on here. I'm not really sure why, but it's on here. Slytherin Grime Guard from Silver Moon Sewing. 25 count easy grid. I'm stitching 1/1 full cross. I think that's everything. So yeah, not really a ton to show on that. I think I put in like 300 stitches on it for Magical Stitches, so not a ton. And then that was the last thing that I had to use for Magical Stitches homework. And then the Cross Stitch Finish Line Facebook group was doing a Mirabilia sound for a few days. I didn't get to pick this up until that very last day of that they had it going, but I still worked on it a little bit. So this is Mirabilia, Nora Corbett, Miss Solar Ellipse, and I got this as a full D-stash kit back. I think I got this back in November, so you guys can see. She just had all the flosses in here. I bobbinated them and put them on the project ring. But the person I got it from had all the flosses in here. You can hear the beads, and she also had the Krynic in here. She had the fabric, she had the pattern. Literally everything but needles. So, oh, right. I was like, where's the project? I forgot it's on a Q-snap. So, here is where I'm at. I'm gonna move my needle over. There we go. So here's where I'm at on this. So before I picked this up again, I just had the 844, that gray color. I had all of that done minus this little bit in here. I hadn't finished that 4th part. So I picked that back up, finished that, and then I started on this brown. So I'd have the part of the ribbon. There you go. So you can see like all of this is the ribbons right here. So I'm gonna go ahead, since I'm a color completer, there's not too much of this color left on this other side, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll move on to the next color. I thought that I was gonna really like work on this a ton, and I was like, yeah, I'll finish the skirt and then I'll put her away for a while, but I've already basically lost steam on it, so I'm happy with the progress I made. It might get taken off the Q-snap if I don't touch it for another few days. I'm just going to take it off the Q-snap and maybe put something else on here. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so this is 32 count white Belfast. Yeah, it's just white. Stitching 2/2, needle minder from Thrifty Thread NZ, a little skull matrushka, and then another Silver Moon Sewing Grime Guard, my Martyrs map. Okay, yeah, all my projects, actually I can say that with confidence, all my projects are DMC, so that makes it easy. Okay. Put this back in here. And then I was interested to find that, so this is the bag that she sent all the stuff in, so I'm just keeping it in this plastic bag. And my 8x8 Q-snap that it's on fits in there perfectly. So that's super helpful. Okay. So that's that. What did it? Oh, I was like, I lost the project. Regardless, is that gonna be the word? Maybe that'll be the title of this episode. I don't know why I've been saying that so much this week. Anyway, that's nothing. I'll have to find a picture. I know where I can get a picture because they just put out part 4. So I'll pop in a picture here of the Mythical Medieval Mansion Sal. And this is a collaboration between Tiny Modernist, who did the pattern, and Lakeside Needlecraft, who did the exclusive fabric, which I do have. I think I have a picture of this fabric, like a good picture maybe. If I do, I'll make sure it's on the blog. If not, just imagine. So the colors, the top is a little less blue, it's more of a gray, and the bottom green is a bit brighter. That's muted on the screen. But you can tell, yeah. So it's called Misty View, and by now I'd already put in the picture, so it's the sky and the grass for the castle, which I think is brilliant, so that you don't have to stitch background and it looks like completely unseen. Yeah, you'll notice that I have barely done anything. So the picture that I put up, they have recently sent us part 4, so we have 2 rooms, or actually it's really 3 rooms, because the first one was the door part in the center, and then it was the part that was on the left, and then I can't remember what's happening in the room on the left, but then the room on the right is the one that was just released in part 4. Yeah, so here's what I have. Barely anything. I was somewhere down here, right in here, when I picked it back up. So I did all of this, came back, moved up. And I picked up this project for, what do you know, Magical Stitches. Anyone that's wondering what I'm talking about, go search the School of Magical Stitches and Literature on Facebook. I'll put a link to that down below in the description bar, or box. Anyway, yeah, so we get weekly homework. If you've watched me or anyone else of the several people that are doing Magical Stitches, we have weekly homework, and this week, so the weekly homework is from Monday to Sunday. So week 4 ended on Sunday, and Monday morning we still had a new challenge, but because it's only partial week for January, because we're starting like new themed stuff, so to speak, for Chamber of Secrets in February. So we just have, 28, 29, 30, 4 days to do detention for January. So we had to pick our least favorite project and stitch 300 stitches. And I picked up this, and I did all this. I finished out this cream color, so on this page, or not. Well, actually, yes, because this is on like page 5 or something, and all of this is on a different page, or most of this. But yeah, I finished up the cream and then started in on this brown to get like 50 something stitches that I needed. Not 50. It was like 100 more stitches. Anyway, yeah, least favorite project. This is not, I don't really have a least favorite project. So I decided to think of that as the project that I'm avoiding the most. And that would be this one. I don't know why. I think also at this point, like I'm so far behind that I'm just going to wait for all the rooms to come out. And as I do the border, I'll just stitch the whole room and work on it that way. That just seems like it would be a lot easier. Yeah. And this is probably the bag that they sent this fabric into. Honestly, probably that's what it is. So I'm just keeping everything in here. And then the pattern. Yeah. And in case anyone's wondering how I keep up with counting my stitches, you can see here I'm a highlighter. And I can show you guys this. So what I also like to do, so you can see I used, this is a purple highlighter. So with the highlighter that I'm using to highlight, I write what I'm counting for. So 300 stitches for magical stitches. And then when I reach that goal and I finish counting, you can see I had 310, draw an arrow, move on. Oh, I didn't bring it up here. Because, for example, on Hogwarts Castle, the page that I'm doing this month has a ton of colors all over it because I keep counting for different things. So that's how I keep up with my stitches. Yeah, so I did that yesterday because yesterday was Monday, and I finished up detention, so I'm done with that. For anyone wondering, no, I still haven't finished Sorcerer's Stone. I'm going to take some time. I'm going to try to take some time today and read. Because I need to finish that book. That's the whole point, was to read along. That was the main goal, and I'm not doing that, and I need to get it done. Okay, next. Hogwarts Castle. While we're talking about it, might as well. So this is... Oh, is that everything I wanted to say about the other project? I think it was. The little skull needle minder. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but it's one that I got from Michelle Bindi Stitchy. Okay, moving on. This is Hogwarts Castle from I Cross Stitch Pattern. You guys see it every week. Still working on this for 90-day challenge. I have been working on, there was a big kind of gap up in here because I finished some colors going around it, going around the gap, and I finished this giant section of 775, which I've almost finished the first skein of. I only needed 2 skeins, so thank goodness. Yeah, so I filled in this giant section, started working on some other colors that came down here, and then now I'm still doing that. Some of these colors come down here too, but they start out by needing to fill in where the gaps were. So I'm working on getting a page finish. I would like to have one today. I wanted to have one yesterday, but I didn't really feel like stitching on that much. So I just did what I felt like and then I stopped. Yeah, so hopefully it'll happen before the end of January. That's my real goal. I don't know why. Just so I can say I had 3 page finishes this month, TBH. Yeah, so I'm close. I just need to finish it up. Yeah. DMC, like I said, Silver Moon Sewing, Grime Guard, 16 count, white Ada. Same as always. And then this is the last whip. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot to say something. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna talk about this. So this is the last whip. It is the only one that's, well, not really. The other 2 are in their project bags. They're just plastic. So this one is in my Love You More Studio Co. sleeve. I know I said I wasn't gonna show it every week, But what I've decided to do is show my temperature quilt by Stitch and Mommy. I'm sure it's on the screen. So I'm going to show the quilt today because in the future, I'm just going to wait until the last floss tube of the month, which today is because February starts Friday. So to keep with that, I'm just going to go ahead and show it today, and then you guys won't see it until the end of February. Yeah. Plus, I put in a lot of progress on this morning, so it actually has changed. So we're getting to the end of the month. Oh my gosh. When I was filling it in today, I was like, holy crap, I'm really close to the bottom. And I was like, yeah, because today's the 29th. So I have 28 days put in, or at least partially put in with what I could. Most of these are actually one range. It's like 41 to 45. Anyway, so yeah, I put in the last 7 colors, last 7 squares today because I hadn't touched it since last week when I caught up on Tuesday. If you heard that, that was my hip popping. Yeah, so there it is, days 1 through 28. I'm super stoked. Yeah, so that'll be fun for you guys. You'll literally get to see another column every time I show it to you. And I think I'm still gonna be updating it on the blog every week because I like to post on Instagram every Tuesday, and I put it in a couple Facebook groups every Tuesday. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, or you're in the Stitch and Mommy group, or the in the Stitch Mania group, they have the 2019 temperature style. That's where I post the update there. But yeah, if you're in any one of those places, or like I said, on Instagram, I'm going to update every Tuesday, hopefully. So you'll still get to see it, and I'll still update the blog every week. I'm just not going to show it on the floss tube every week because, like I said, it's just colored squares. I don't like that. Squares of color. It's better. Okay, now let's go back for a second because I forgot to say something super important. So, I really love when people name the stuff that's in their projects, right? And this is, well, it's not the, for right now, it's the only project I really want to name. Oh, I should name my Mirabilia. We'll get back to that. Okay. I'll tell you in a second. I need to tell you this first. So, this is Butterfly Effect by Hayden Kate Powell, and I wanted to name her because Jessie Marie has her Hayde in this moment, which is named McKenna, and speaking of McKenna, she names like the stuff in her projects. So like hello. And then Michelle Bendy has her Hayde contested with Squid that she's named Josephine and Humphrey, and I'm like, I want to name mine. So I did. And funny enough, it only took like 2 seconds for me to think of this. But Butterfly Effect, so I'm gonna call her Effie. And if you're a reader or at all up to pop culture in the past, like not century, decade, that's what I want, 10. In the last decade, The Hunger Games, there's a character, Effie, who I think it's the first time she shows up in the movie, has on a butterfly costume, people. At some point in the series, she wears a butterfly costume. It might not be the first movie. But anyway, yeah. So, right now all we've got is Effie's hair, but eventually this will be Effie. So, that's that. Yeah. And then, oh, okay, so the thought that popped in my head, I need to name my Mirabilia now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might as well. I should give her a cool name and not be, like, basic. But I was like, well, it's Miss Solar Ellipse, so I should just do, like, Ellie or something, because that's easy. And then I'll have Effie and Ellie, which sounds like I'm just naming things after letters. Ha. Okay, anyway, Moving on. So that was all of my whips. Next is Craving It, and it's just this one thing. And this is also a part of retail therapy. I got a 1-2-3 stitch order in today that I made last week. And I can confidently say this because neither of my parents watch my videos, but I definitely know that my dad doesn't. So this is Arranging Tools from Ink Circles. You guys, I think I've showed it on here, arranging the orchestra. Or no, I haven't because I started it, but that was in the time at the end of 2018. So you guys haven't seen it. Maybe. I think it's on the blog. It doesn't matter. So Arranging the Orchestra. They also have Arranging the Sewing, which I can't decide if I'm going to do or not. And then they have Arranging Tools. So my dad loves carpentry and woodwork. He used to do it a lot more when I was younger. Not as much now, but he still does it. And his birthday is on the 11th of February, so I'm going to try to get this done in time. But we'll see because, well, I'll talk about it in a second. So anyway, this is Arranging Tools from Ink Circles, and I'm going to start this as soon as my fabric gets here. Because, moving on to retail therapy fully now, the other thing that, or not the other thing, one of the other things that was in this order is the fabric. I will pop in a picture here of what it looks like outside natural sunlight. So, because it's totally blowing out. Like, if it looked in real life like it does on screen right now, I would not have to order more fabric. And maybe I still won't. I can't decide. So this is 30 count Baby's Breath from Weeks Dye Works. And I can't decide if I want to do it on this or not. I don't know, because to me it just looks too like pinkish kind of. Yeah, it's blowing out. So hopefully you guys saw that picture that was up there. I don't know. I'm gonna send that picture that I showed you guys to my mom and see what she thinks. Yeah, I just don't know. But you know, it'll be fine. Even if he gets it after his birthday, he'll still appreciate it. My dad is not like super big on like, oh, I want gifts on my birthday. Half the time we don't really do like anything too great. We might go out to eat and that's it. So he'll be fine if it's late. That's my point. So I got that. And then the only other thing in my 1-2-3 stitch order, which yes, did count against me for Stitch from Stash. I'm like negative $25. I can't even. I finished Pumpkin Hollow Farms, $14 credit, then ordered from 1-2-3 Stitch and basically spent everything but 75 cents. Anyway, the only other thing I got was some flosses that I needed to finish out Effie. So, yeah. Got those now, because one of them I actually need on this page. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to have to order it now. Because it was one of the new colors, and they don't have it at my Michael's, and I'm too lazy to drive literally like 5-10 minutes more across a bridge to go look in Hobby Lobby. Or honestly, 5 minutes down the road to go to Joann's. So lazy. Okay, so that's it for retail therapy. Plans, Castle, of course, 90-day challenge, still going. I still haven't missed a day, so that's fun. Like I was mentioning earlier, Friday is February the 1st, so another reason why I'm trying to get the page finish done before the end of January is because I want to just start on a clean, fresh page for February for the 1200 and 2400 stitches challenges. And I think what I'm going to do for February, I think I'm going to do the 2400 stitches first because that's a full page. So I might as well do that first, just get a page finish. And then I can start on the next page, get my 1200 stitches, which is like half the page, and then I can just work on the rest of the page through the end of the month. that, and you know, not rush and stuff. That sounds better to me. So we'll see how that works. And if not, what I'll probably do is just count. Like, I'll just start a new page. Or TBH, like, I have a month for both of those challenges, so I don't have to start on the 1st. Anyway, so that's happening. Like I said, I need to finish Sorcerer's Stone by Thursday. And then, so also for Magical Stitches, I did not do any of the extra credit reading or stitching challenges for this month. Because I didn't want to bog myself down, and I might start doing them, not sure, we'll see. But you know, I've got 11 more months, so if I decide to do them, cool, I'm not going to stress about those. But I really have been thinking about doing the ultimate Stitchy challenge, and it's year-long. For anyone watching other people, it's the one with the 22 occasions of 7 in the series, and you have to stitch 1,000 stitches for each of those. I love a good challenge. Have I mentioned that? And that is one of those challenges that you really have to think about. And I love, like, all the occasions of 7. I love stuff like that when you gather, like, hey, the number 7 is really important. Like, I love stuff like that. I'm such a nerd, guys, if you haven't figured it out. Aren't we all, though? I feel, well, I won't say that. Maybe someone takes offense to the word nerd. I'm using it in an endearing manner, for the record. Anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking about that. I'm going to take the time this weekend, hopefully at the latest, and think about it. Actually, after I film this next video, I'm going to probably think about it, because I'll be looking at all my projects. So, speaking of that, what to look for next, I'm just going to mention these. I'm going to film a whip parade. I mentioned this already at the beginning of the month. My goal was to get it done before the end of January, so it's going to happen. Right after I finish this, I'm going to gather all of my whips, put them in ABC order, and start filming my whip parade before the boyfriend gets off work. I should have a good bit of time to get through all of them, honestly. Just like all of my other whips, they'll have a page on the blog. Anyway, look out for a whip parade. I'm going to have it post on Thursday, which is the 31st, because that's going to take time for me to get all the pictures and everything up on the blog. Plus, I want to get this video out, edited and out first. So, if it's not up Thursday, it'll be up by Friday. Look for that. And then I'm going to do a recap of January in the next video. So that's going to be, like in the first video of the year, I talked to you guys kind of about plans I'm doing this year. So we'll talk about that. I'll give kind of a Magical Stitches general update, Stitch from Stash. What else am I doing? All of my finishes for this month. What was it? Stitchathon. I'll show you guys my notebook that I use for Stitchathon and the one that I use for Stitch from Stash. Yeah. And whatever else I feel like doing. So that'll be at the end of the next Flosstube video. That one won't have its own separate video. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot, and I wrote it down this week. So last week when I did shoutouts, I completely forgot to write down, and I'm so sorry, because I totally watched it. So Linda Jo, Pretty Southern, had on her Insta story or her feed or whatever, one of them, had on there for us to go check out Olivia, who is also in the Pacific Northwest. She is Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, and I immediately went there and looked at her video, and I forgot to write it down. So Olivia, here is your shout out. I love her Flosstube. She just put out her second video in the last couple of days, so go check her out if you haven't. All of her stuff is amazing. Yeah, and I think that is everything. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off because I need to take a while, not a while, or this whip parade will never get done. I need to take a break, let my brain calm down, and get my whips in order. So I hope you guys have a great couple of days until you see me. It's gonna be wearing the same thing. Anyway, happy stitching. Bye, guys.